Hi, Frank.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm okay.
Yeah, what a wonderfully long night it was.
Yes. One second. Hi, Stephen. Yeah. I just opened it. I just did at 5:32 because Finance Committee had to cancel. Are you still there? There you are. You hung up. Okay, that works.
Hello.
Good
Hey,
evening, everybody. Sorry, I had FinCom who was supposed to meet at 6:30. Just learned the school committee is not showing up, so they ended up having to cancel their meeting. So I apologize for the extra couple minutes late. But that means nobody is gonna bump you off at 6:30.
oh, good. The I think it was a half hour, 40 minutes ago. Mr. Sullivan tooted his horn as he went by my house. So I think he's on the road.
Yeah,
I think they're sanding, and we're right around that freezing point. So
and it's raining here,
yeah,
freezing rain.
freezing
Yeah.
rain. So that's the tough thing.
Oh, we can't hear you, Stephen. You're muted.
Oh,
I think it's muted. No,
Very
it
well.
doesn't.
Jeff's in Costa Rica, so I don't think he'll be
Oh,
attending this evening.
Cool.
oh, he missing
come
all
on.
that wonderful snow.
Yeah,
We have internet in Costa Rica.
well,
Not
that's
sure
true, but
but-
I think he said he wasn't going to take his computer.
No. Gotta
That's
enjoy
a
it.
good choice.
Yeah. Okay, well, we have a quorum, so I call the meeting to order at 5:35.
Excellent.
So I made some changes very recently to the minutes. Anna, have you had a chance to go over these? And Frank?
I did. Yep.
I honestly have not. There was no school today, so I still have.
Oh,
I'm down to 3 children in the house right now, but we were at a max of 5 earlier. So
oh
Wow.
boy.
I'm here right now.
Yeah, yeah.
That's all you're getting from me is that I'm physically present right now.
Oh.
Well, I have a question. At the last meeting, there was the recommendation made that maybe Fletcher's Drain and Sewer could be contacted as the drain cleaner. And am I remembering correctly, Anna? Did you come up with that?
I don't. Maybe Jeff brought it up. I definitely agreed with it.
Hmm.
I think they're a good fit for it.
So you don't think you suggested it? You think Jeff did?
I think so.
Yeah, because Jeff said he had them come out last year when Carl
Okay,
didn't have a long enough snake, I think is what.
okay.
I just changed it to JQ. So
Thank you. Okay. Other than that, do you have any?
looks good.
Okay. So do I hear a motion to accept the minutes from January the 10th?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor, Cook,
Aye.
McGinn,
Aye.
Dalmas, aye. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay,
Who would have thought it'd be January 24th, 2024? Doesn't that sound weird?
Hmm.
As I write it all down.
Yes.
Oh. Okay. Sorry, Stephen.
that's okay. So, the roof leakage at the Shutesbury Elementary School. So, Becky, you sent out the responses that you got from from Gail, right?
Yep.
And he was, as I remember, he was basically saying that, part of their detail showed modified bitumen running some number of feet up from the edge of the roof.
6 feet, I think.
Yeah. And, this event obviously went up higher than that. But I thought when they were stripping the roof that there is actually ice and water shield type membrane on the entire roof. And if there were any say, damaged spots, they were supposed to repair it. And I didn't try to search for Gail's detailed drawings, that showed what was there, or, the specs to go through. But if there was ice and water shield on the whole roof, then in theory, it shouldn't leak regardless. So I don't know if you want to, when you have a chance, Becky, find those
Yeah.
and send those to each of us, and we can look through. But, when I read Gail's comment that, roofs shed water, or an asphalt shingle roof sheds water, and, if you have the right event, it could leak. I thought that was the whole purpose of an ice and water shield membrane.
Mhm.
But the question is, we know it was, we saw it when they were taking everything off, so it had been there. The question is, well, we know it wasn't in the specs to put it back, was it?
Well, that's what we need to look at,
Okay,
and maybe ask, I mean, they didn't take it off.
No.
And I guess a question too, and I'm sorry, I did read the emails, but not when they first came out, was the ice and water there or spec for just the eaves, or the eaves and the valleys? Because I would
It's
probably run them up the valleys just as an extra layer of protection, but if that wasn't specified on a commercial bid job, I can understand why that maybe didn't get done.
I think it was 3 feet up on each side of the valley,
Uh-huh.
and it came in, they think it came in above.
Well,
Yeah.
it went further over than 3 feet.
Yeah.
But still, if you had ice and water shield on the whole roof,
But if they left what was there, wouldn't the ice and water shield from before would be full of holes, wouldn't it?
tiny holes.
Yeah.
From the nails?
I mean, well, the ice and water shield is supposed to seal around a nail. So let's assume that when you pull it out, pull the nails out, that the holes would be there. I guess my thought is holes that small shouldn't leak that much water. But I think we just need to look at, and then maybe ask Gail some questions. It was an unusual condition where we had, we'll say, 6 to 8 inches of snow sitting on the roof, and then I don't know how many inches of rain, but it was a lot of rain.
Like
Yeah.
3 inches, I think.
So it wasn't, I don't
Yeah.
think it was an ice dam. I think it was, a snow dam.
Exactly. Yeah, I was gonna
Which-
say something similar, those conditions of the snow and then the rain. I can see that exceeding kind of the belt and suspenders of kind of
Yeah.
normal, preparations.
Hmm. Can you share the screen? Can I get shareability?
yeah.
I found one more picture I want to share with you. There. So I'm looking at this picture here. Can everyone see that?
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
And this is one I took, Stephen, and we were up that day.
Okay.
And I can see the 3 foot, the layers is probably 2 foot. They're either 2 foot or 3 foot
AJ.
rolls. And where it goes up, I
Yeah.
can't get it to blow up anymore.
Right.
Oh, there it is.
I think those are 3 foot wide rolls.
Yeah, so I can see 2 on that corner, but Yeah, the spec, yeah, I don't know why the spec wouldn't say up the valleys, but we'll have to see. We'll have to look at it, so.
But it did call it this like metal pan flashing that's running up the valleys. I wonder if that was because this is the old roof on the left side, the bright red stuff.
Yes,
Yes.
correct.
And I'm curious if the new valley on the back right, if that's the old valley flashing, like was it existing to remain? They left it, or if
No,
we
no, no,
No.
it was
replaced
brand
it?
new.
It was
We have-
brand new
It was
Yeah,
brand new.
with that same detail.
The new
Yeah.
flashing is, it's
Okay.
coated copper.
Okay. Oh, coated copper. I see. Okay.
Yeah, the old flashings were all aluminum.
I mean, I suppose like if they ran, sometimes you see like people will run the shingles long onto that valley flashing and then afterwards cut one straight clean line and it, cuts into the flashing, usually not through it, but
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm
Well,
just
that was-
speculating like something could have potentially happened there.
That was something that the first time I went out, I
Mhm.
looked at and
Mm.
commented on how,
Oh.
they were cutting their straight line down into the valley flashing. But that the good thing is that the copper is quite thick. It's not like the typical
Mhm.
residential aluminum flashing, which even if they didn't cut through, it could compromise it enough that it would fail before the end of the roof life.
Did you comment on that? Like, did you see that happening or were you concerned it was happening?
I was concerned it might be happening, so I looked for it, and the job superintendent or foreman, whatever, I pointed it out
Yeah.
and commented on it that I didn't like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just curious if you actually witnessed it, because sometimes you'll do that, like, and they'll, use like a sacrificial scrap shingle underneath,
Right.
and then
Yeah.
I'm curious if you saw them just go for it, or if
Well,
that's
I didn't see them,
that
but I
might be
saw the cut
happening.
lines and the flashing.
Oh, you
This
saw?
is,
Oh, okay, I see.
this is Stephen, pointing out the cut lines and the flashing.
I see. I see. Okay, sorry. I was just trying to clarify. Yeah.
Well, not in this photo, and you had one previously, Frank, that
Can you see that one? Okay, hold on a second.
now you have to.
Yeah, I just dragged it over. Hold on a second. Zoom.
Yeah, I guess I feel like the path here has basically been said is we should check the original specs to just confirm that what
Yeah.
was spec'd is what was done. And then I do agree that the snow followed by rain can, you just see water go in weird places, or in unplanned places that it's not a total surprise with that. We had so much water in such a short period of time.
Right.
And I know the, school already has a million things on their plate, but and of course hindsight being 2020, but if another storm like that were to happen, I would recommend that somebody manually clear the valleys, just get that loose snow out of the way, just enough
Yeah.
to get a path for the water to drain. It wouldn't even take much, it wouldn't have to be perfect.
Right. That's what the gentleman from Gale wrote in his response.
Yeah.
Frank, are you still right now? We're seeing the
Yeah.
I'm seeing the town hall.
Right, I'm trying to get, I don't know why. Let me stop sharing. Stop sharing. Okay, now go ahead and share. There it is. Okay, I had to do, it's the way I dragged it over. There.
See, that's me lifting the shingles.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay,
Yeah.
I was just trying to clarify the like timeline or
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he did look at it, and that's how we did it. So
Got
Yeah,
it.
there I am commenting.
Okay.
so we have, but it's
And
not the valley we wanted to comment on.
Right.
So
And then the other thing, that first time I went out, you know how when a roofer is using his nailing gun and he's got a shingle tab, right? It's like 3 feet wide, right? So if this is right in the middle, the one on the left, he goes way out here, so he hits the trigger and the nail goes in at an angle. And then when he gets over to the far right, it's at an angle. I mean, I was really upset to see that, and Cole from Gale had been out there before, so it's obviously not something that was on his radar to look for. Um, so, but that wouldn't be the cause of this.
No. It might be it might be a spec. So,
Might be what?
a spec problem. I don't know. I'm not a roofing engineer. Do you always do the bitumen up the valley? I
We
don't know.
usually do, but it's sort of, technically with the I'm just blanking on the Advantech, sorry, like technically when
Yeah.
you do it proper with the tape and you roll
Yep.
the tape out properly, all those things, you shouldn't need stuff, but we still use it. It's the same with like
Yep.
waterproofing in a shower. I still use concrete board and then we waterproof on top of it, even though
Right.
you can put the the Schluter stuff right on drywall, but old habits.
When Durock came out, no one paid attention to USG spec, but there had to be a felt paper, a moisture barrier behind it
Behind it.
first, and then whatever you put on top after.
Can't make people read,
No.
you just can't.
And years ago, my parents put a shower in, and the Durock screws had just come out, and ITW Buildex was making them, and the tile guy insisted on using galvanized nails. I said, no, you'll have problems later on. Because I've been doing, I've never had a problem. And I never forget, 4 years later, seeing all the rust spots from the fracture of the hammered nails, the galvanized nails. Yeah. So yeah, everyone does their own thing, but I was surprised the bitumen. We'll have to look at the spec. The bitumen wasn't up that valley, so. And that'd be a coal problem if it wasn't in there. So
You
we
mean
missed.
if it's in the specs but not on the roof?
Right. If it's not in the specs, it's not on the roof. It's their problem. If it's not in the specs, it was probably Gail's error not to put it in the specs, but that's what we signed off on. So we'll have to look at the specs closely again. And then
So
just
I think,
keep that valley clean going forward.
yeah, we could move on to assigning more action levels to, I guess we could go either to, I guess through the fire department. I've done some more. I mean, that's
Okay.
not completed.
Is that good enough to see for everyone?
Yes.
Okay. High priority? We'll end up with a lot of red. That's okay. How old is the fire department? You're muted, Becky.
In the 70s.
Okay.
Well, the building was there in not that. There was a building there that was not as big as what is there now. There was I believe, a smaller building there.
Okay.
Constructed in the 70s?
Yeah, I think by volunteers,
Wow.
and a lot of parties.
It's a wonderful way to build.
Like barn raising.
Like
It's
a
food and
Quaker,
drink.
a Quaker barn raising. I haven't been inside the place to see if there's any old leaks or anything.
At the fire department, No,
Yeah.
it's a new roof was done, I think about 15 years ago. I think the roof was repaired about maybe 12, 15 years ago. And
We still haven't evaluated the soffit and fascia.
Yep. Leave that then. It's a low priority, but I would recommend, if they're not using them, just put some type of cap up there.
Right. The stainless steel, that has
Yeah.
its own cap so that no water is running down that one.
yeah, the old furnace took up a whole room, almost the size of my office.
Wow.
They were really happy to remove that, and now they have storage space that they never had before. I think they might have put the washing machine in there. I'm not sure if it's there. It might be. I better check again. No, the washing machine is out in the other bay.
So the copper vent pipe, the collar, I assume was installed after the roof was installed because the collar is sitting directly on the shingles rather than being, set as the roof shingles go up and just the lower part is exposed and the rest is covered by the shingles.
Do you think it's a double like you did? You were talking about it, the one of the.
No, I don't think it's, no, that's, you wouldn't install a whole second collar. You would just have, it's just
The,
the cream gasket part that would
okay.
go on top. My thought there is that when a roofer's there doing some work, the prudent thing to do is to have a new one installed correctly. So you rip up a few shingles around that area, put it in properly and put new
Right.
shingles down.
I'm sorry, Steve, is it supposed to go on top of the shingles or under the shingles?
Well, it's sort of a combination. As the shingles are going up the roof, you get to a point and you put the collar down, and then the next two layers, I think, are on top of it. So when you look at it, the bottom part of the collar is exposed, and that's on a shingle. But then the next, I think, two or at least one are on top of it.
Huh, okay.
And in this case, the roof is, say, installed and they put the whole thing down on top. So water can come down and possibly get under the metal from the top edge.
Ah,
Yeah, that should be looked at when they, just to be corrected we're going to do that. If we're going to have in the future recommend the above things to look at, we should have it all done at the same time. Not applicable. Is this a usable antenna, Becky? Is that the one they use?
It's a big tower.
Oh, okay. Must be.
I mean,
that.
I don't know, but it's very tall. I suspect they use it, but have to
but
ask.
they have changed radio systems about 7 or 8 times or more in the last 20 years that I'm aware of, 20, 30 years. So I'll have to ask.
Yeah, or the next time I go to inspect, I'll ask Len.
Yeah.
Low priority on that then. The when they put up that new cell tower, Becky, did they get the relay for the DPW, the highway department?
The relay to the DPW?
Well, I just remember Steve Sullivan said when they were the select board approved that new radio tower that's on Wendell Road or whatever, that they were supposed to include a relay for the highway department because when you're plowing down by the lake in a certain area, it's block out because you're behind the hill, so the radio never went down there. So I'll ask Steve. I'm
I
just
don't think
curious.
it happened, but
Yeah. Remember
but they
telling
have
me,
been getting, they do have better reception with that tower there. I mean, the cell
oh,
phones down at the lake.
yeah,
The AT&T phones that the police use all work really well now. I mean, they can make a cell phone call from down at the lake and it's like they were standing in the same room.
yeah. It's funny because I don't know, I'm on T-Mobile, but it shows 5G and it's very slow. So they must have a lower agreement with AT&T, T-Mobile with that tower because all of a sudden it just populated. But it's not lickety split fast, so we still use Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Yep. You think this is a high one, Stephen, the siding?
Yeah, definitely.
I remember when we walked around that building, it's like a lot of the old buildings in town. Once we finish with the elementary school, dressing that one up and making it pretty, we can go around and do all the others. At least, yeah, by that time we'll be at town hall, I think will be the next one, but
I would suggest priority high for that because
yeah, I do. I thought I clicked it and it went too fast.
got it.
Same with this one, especially around the windows.
Well, go back to that one.
Yeah.
So that one, my suspicion is that the prudent thing to do there ultimately is to replace the windows, the entire window,
Mhm.
including, if possible, the frame. Well, the frame. So at this point, they're sort of functional. Given other things that we're finding, I'd probably go to low priority. If as other things are taken care of, they would then become a priority. But
Okay.
I think there could be, I think, as I said, consider patching repairs to extend life. Um, some of the sills, you could put some filler in where they're cracked. There's not as much wholesale rot and decay like with the siding and the trim. So that's my thought.
Okay, that makes sense. Monitor on that one. No one's using a door.
Yeah, I mean, I think ultimately it could just maybe when the siding is done, maybe that gets filled in and sided over.
Yeah, makes
Yeah.
sense.
Good idea. And that's not a primary egress door or anything that if they lost a door, it would matter.
So that's at the back corner of the back section of the truck bays. There are three garage doors.
Mhm.
I mean, that would be if the garage doors didn't work, or if there were no garage doors, that'd probably be an important door given its location. But I think they, yeah, it's caulk shut. They might even have things piled in front of it inside. So even if it was accessible, I don't know that you could get out of it.
And there's another door on that north wall. On the far side, on the opposite side from the one that's shut, permanent shut.
Well, wait a minute. That is, oh, because that door would be at the south east. Is that right? If I'm facing, if I'm facing the fire department from Leverett Road, east is on the left.
Yep.
Okay, it's at the southeast corner.
Okay.
Oh, the one that's shut,
That's
permanent?
blocked off. Yeah.
East, not west corner? That's weird. That doesn't seem right. Hmm.
It's on the east side, but at the south end of that back section of the building.
No, I thought they used that door. Oh, I think there's also isn't there another garage door?
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Yeah, because the boat is right in there. So they
Yes.
have the
Yeah.
garage door, so maybe that's why they don't use the other door or need it.
Yeah. Yeah. If you look at garage doors, number 5 is on the north side.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah. But I always
And they're
thought,
all in good shape except for some dings and stuff. So
Well, door number 3, well, right now the garage door openers on number 3 and number 4 don't work. And then door number 3 manually is very difficult to open and close, which would then put a lot of stress, I think, on the garage door opener. So I think that,
this the new garage door opener that's not working? Because we just put garage door openers in there like 2 or 3 years ago.
well, then, yeah, number 3 and number 4. And I think Len thinks some of that occurred when there was that storm.
Oh, yeah,
the-
with all the electricity being erratic, it
Yeah,
blew out all the mini splits and
yeah,
everything.
yeah. So I
that
think,
happened to me. Yeah, that happened to me in Texas. We had the high tension wires running behind the house, and one got hit during an electrical storm, and I lost cable. I lost a whole bunch of things, but the panel on the electric door, the Genie, whatever it was, when I called the 800 number, they told me to take it apart. You can see the burn mark right on it. So it might be as simple as just replacing a card in there.
Hmm,
And you can get them online for 25, 35 bucks.
really?
Yeah. You just have to find out the brand name and you call their 800 number. You wait 10 minutes to get in. And I had a very, very nice saleswoman or a help woman just run through, and she had me do 3 things. And she said, yep, because it was electrical storm. Look at the panel. And it was. You see a little burn mark right up there. And it's, that whole card that's in there. It's a small one. And I replaced it and it worked right away. So that would be a high priority if it's that, especially if they're manually doing it now. That's not
right.
that's
And 2.5, because, door number 3 is difficult to
yeah.
operate, I'd go to high priority.
Okay. And then monitor. Monitor, no concern.
Yep.
Okay. we talked about this. You want to do a high priority on this or low
Yeah.
priority?
Yes.
Okay.
And back
Yeah,
to
'cause-
retaining walls, that could be not applicable.
Yeah.
But retaining walls above fencing, 3.4.
Oh, missed that one. And then
Yeah, so what do you put for that? I don't think that's ever going to be something that can be corrected.
yeah, further inspection to make sure it's, keep an eye on it where they all meet to see what's happening.
Or monitor.
Yeah, I'll monitor. Yeah.
Can you, in that comment, can you change where I have great expense, change the C to an S?
Oh, I was looking at that going, that's not right.
Thank you.
Monitor. Cool. Do we own these tanks or are they leased? Do you know, Becky?
The ones at the fire station,
Yeah.
I believe we own. I think the only one we don't own is at the library.
Okay. You want that a low priority?
Uh-huh.
That's a good one.
Now, the comment, see how it sits down kind of low? I don't know what I did or happened that it doesn't kind of center itself the way the others do.
And the number is at the bottom too. On the
Yeah.
far right, on far
Yeah.
left, the
Yes.
Just
4.4.
an alignment.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. And that, yeah.
It's that alignment and then that alignment.
That's it.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Yep. It's got the top and bottom because the heating descriptions are so thick. So yeah. Yeah, every once in a while, yeah, on my computer, I do the same thing, Steve. And you hit 3 keys at once that you didn't realize, and
Right.
everything happens. And it takes you an hour to figure out which 3 keys you did. Monitor. Do you want it a low priority on a rusty tank, or we're going to put a fence up with a windscreen around it? We won't care what it looks like.
Well, I think the prudent thing to do it would be to paint it
Yeah.
at some point, but I'd probably go for priority low.
Yeah. Okay. Monitor.
And then if you go into the comment, short sections of ducting, take the I out between the C and the T. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. It's a monitor, right?
Right. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I would put monitor there because if you look to the right, I replaced the filters.
Okay. Yep.
And again, for the mini splits, you can see again how for the units, it sits low, it's not centered.
Right.
You might want to scooch back to the left a little so we can see the
number.
So if you look there, data manufacture, this is on for the mini splits 2014. So I've gone back and looked online at average life of a mini split, and they'll say, well, 10 to 15 years, but they could go 20 or even 30 years. So it's like, so what's the average? I mean, it's like 10 to 30
Yeah, I guess 10 to 30.
or 20 plus or minus. I mean,
Yeah.
it's, but I did read that Mitsubishi and the Daikin are considered to be quality units. I know
Good
there have
to
been
know.
issues. I mean, there's one at the fire department that last time I was there, I think the second floor, and Len said it's not working, hasn't been repaired.
That's good to know.
You want to priority high this one, Stephen?
Yeah, for the
Yep,
number.
yep.
Yeah.
And priority high on the replacement. We've already talked
We're
about
halfway
that.
there.
Oh, really?
Well, I mean, we have the material.
Yeah, I know. That's right. Not applicable.
So the blower fan, I have to check those.
Yeah. And then ducting, not applicable. Priority low.
I'd actually, because the filter, I mean, on that first floor unit is
Yeah.
absolutely disgusting. I mean, probably should put a new filter in, but I'd be concerned that the evaporator coil and the fan blades are
Dirty.
pretty dirty. And, I didn't look inside that one the way I did at the highway department. But if you remember last time, I was talking about looking in that one. I mean, there's
Yeah.
obvious mold right below where the fan is.
Yeah, so I'll put a priority high on that with the maintenance.
Yeah.
That's how we
It
have
looks
today.
like there's we still have
Yeah,
things to look at.
great.
Stephen,
look
I
at Stephen.
appreciate your doing this so much.
Yeah, I do
Wow.
too.
I know it's so much work, but we're gonna get a control over down buildings.
Good.
Yeah, we'll have
Yeah.
a game plan going forward, which will be great.
Yeah.
I think I've done a little bit at the highway department. Could look and see, if there's some things who can assign action levels to.
The one thing you had, we did that again. Be a high.
Well, we could go over to the right. Did I put in there? Because, we did make some patching repairs.
Nothing's over on the right.
Okay, I'll enter, but,
Yeah.
it's reduced that to, say, a trickle or,
Okay. Well, that's where we did the battens and all that stuff. We could see inside. Yeah.
Right. And actually, the last time I was at the highway department, I asked Steve about that area, in that little connector building.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that they haven't been having leakage. And I don't know if they haven't been having any, or if they have, it's very minimal compared to what it had been. So I think the
Yeah.
batten strips were certainly a significant part of correcting that.
I'll leave that as a low because we've been working on
Right.
it then. And then even after that big rain, monitor on the,
Yeah. Well, actually, so for instance, we've got the unit was made in 2000, average life's 15 to 25 years. So we're looking at a unit that is 23 years old.
mhm.
So should that have the anticipate future need
Yes.
to replace?
Yes. Therefore, they can budget it for the next 5 years. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you know, furnaces are their say ability to continue to function is dependent entirely on the heat exchanger. So if the heat exchanger is fine, you don't replace it. You just keep servicing it. And I do want to take a closer look at the heat exchanger with an inspection mirror at some point, but that I still need to do.
That one has a monitor.
So on my comment for fan,
Yep.
where Steve Sullivan said, first, wait a minute, I'm sorry. No, I get rid of said. Per Steve Sullivan, this is intentional, as is, not if.
Oh, I couldn't figure that out. Thank you.
Okay.
And you can take the hyphen out between
Oh, yeah.
N and
Yep.
Great. Okay. I think that's a high priority.
Yep.
And then go and center. I want to watch. So when you want to center one,
Yep. So what I do is I'm just going to do this whole, in case it's the whole thing that's been, you hit the shift button, highlight the whole row.
okay.
Up here, you'll see the alignment. This make sure it's centered within the box.
Okay.
And then the next door is the vertical alignment, and then we just make sure it's set to this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Yep. I don't know what you can do about this. This is
Well, I would leave it blank
Okay.
since really I haven't evaluated it.
Oh, okay. I think okay, not functioning. Okay, yeah. Pump not applicable. Monitor for that. Not applicable. And filters.
High priority. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Oh,
That has a new filter.
okay.
I would change the comment to new filter noted. Yeah, back.
Was it December or this month?
It was in December that,
I'll just put that 122023 so that we know, and then we
Yeah.
keep that
and then that would just be a monitor.
monitor. Yep.
Right.
No concerns. Monitor. Management 214.
Now, this is another interesting one. So this water heater is it's not a residential building. So how much hot water are they using? Probably not a lot. So it could conceivably last a very long time, but it's 9 years old. So the question is, for now, do we just put monitor or do we put anticipate future need to replace?
I think anticipate future need to replace.
Yeah, because once we try to replace it, it could take another 5 to 10 years after that. Just the reality.
That's good to know. So I have to
Monitor.
find the wellhead and check that out.
Yeah.
And
Oh, actually, I didn't see I meant to do this one, monitor. On the sediment filters and PFAS filters, we just do monitor on that. Is that part of the program, or is it just the PFAS filters that the company is maintaining?
With our PFAS contract, what we're obligated to do is maintain the PFAS filter.
We are.
We are.
Oh,
The
okay.
sediment filter is, the town hasn't taken on the sediment filters. Those
Right.
are personal responsibility.
Okay. So we
Becky, can you repeat what you said about the sediment filters?
Those are, for residents, for residential properties, those are homeowners' responsibility. And so for the town buildings, they would be part of, the building maintenance. It's not
Right.
part of the PFAS contractors issue.
Right. And the sediment filter typically, you can replace them on a regular schedule, or you can just wait till your water pressure starts
drops.
to drop. And then you know that it's clogged and you replace it.
A schedule would be really good.
Okay.
So you want a bit low priority on this? Or
Well,
not-
I think what I need to do is because this came up when we were talking about town hall. The PFAS filters have a definite schedule, correct, Becky?
Well, they have it depends on when funding comes in, so we're not as calendar tied as we'd like to be.
Mhm.
But we have, like quarterly or every twice a year minimums, so.
okay.
So
When
the
we come
PFAS
back to that, I can't change it right now. So
Yeah, I will. I'll change it. I think I should list those individually, and,
right.
and then the sediment filters. Um, I can ask Steve if he knows when they last replaced one, and maybe each building we will suggest a different period of time before replacing the sediment filter. But the PFAS should have every PFAS filter should probably have the same schedule, correct, Becky?
Well, the town is maintaining the PFAS. We're maintaining all the PFAS filters through
the contract.
bond,
Yeah.
through our engineer. Those are separate.
So we just have to come up with a sediment filter schedule.
Okay, so then within the report, really, I can say that the PFAS filters are taken care of by,
This point by tie and bond.
Time on.
that's TIGHE.
Yep.
Okay. So they physically come and change them?
We have another tie and bond does the testing, and the lab reports tell us if we need to do change the carbon filter or not.
Oh, I see. So
You only change them when there's a breakthrough.
I see. So they on a schedule do a water test.
Yeah.
For the PFAS level.
Yes.
And then that determines whether or not they need to change the PFAS carbon filter, you said.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I noticed, Becky, you sent, this is to sort of, it's 6:28, and
Yeah.
maybe we should have a short discussion about the FCCIP. Becky, you sent that out?
Yeah, I shared, traditionally, we're supposed to have a representative at FCCIP, and I went to a couple meetings a long time ago. And so it's a organization made up of building inspectors and representatives from different towns, and the towns are you know, it's a cooperative, so you would vote for different issues. At one point, I think they even were recommending a new building inspector. So they have governmental functions as a body. Shutesbury had the last person to represent Shutesbury, I think, was Nancy Matthews about 5 years ago, or 3 or 5 years ago. No,
The person who proposed me.
yes, yes. Nancy's no longer with us, but we have Frank, which is great.
So this is like quarterly meetings, is that the?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't interfere with my normal schedule of pottery, because I've been having it very busy. I could take that up. Is it all Zoom now? Yeah. Are they
I
in-house?
don't know. I've been so
Okay.
out of touch. I'm not sure.
I wouldn't mind doing that, Becky.
That would be very helpful.
So when you said the FCCIP is a cooperative, and you mentioned the building inspector, so is the building inspector cover a number of different communities, like not just Shutesbury?
Right.
Or okay,
And Shutesbury is unusual because we have independent plumbing and electrical inspectors. Most people who are part of the building inspector program have all three services through FCCIP. But we don't. And we do have, but we are part and have been part of the building inspection program for a long time.
okay. Okay, so Frank's going to take on that responsibility.
Yes. So Anna doesn't have to.
Thank you.
She's busy with taking care of 5 kids at a time, so.
But you're down to 3. Is that what you said?
On the three, it's great.
At the
I
end of
forget what.
the end of the school day that didn't occur, correct?
That's right.
Uh,
It just blends into the next day, and we just keep doing that till the earth crashes into the sun.
Okay. A
Okay.
motion that you want a motion to end the meeting?
Yes.
There's one other thing. I
Yeah.
just have to mention. And we'll have time to talk about it before the next capital plan meeting. But Stephen was very helpful and put together a capital planning document, that the one for future projects, and which was more detailed and extensive than anything that was ever presented to capital plan for this purpose. And Bob Groves found endless objections to it, not being specific enough. And then another objection that was, and he brought it up too, but actually another person brought up that the list should have every exact thing that you're going to do next year on it. I repeatedly tried to explain why that was not helpful. I'm not sure if I've gotten through. They have asked for some more detail on the school project that I presented as well. So if any of you want to show up at the next capital plan meeting, that might be helpful.
What is that?
It's
Tomorrow?
No, I think it's like the 10th of February. My apologies.
It's not the 10th.
Uh,
Not on here yet.
No, it's not on there. I haven't. Oh, God. Sorry. I will get that information out to you guys. I'm
Okay.
sorry, it's not right here.
Maybe a couple of us will get Jeff to show up too. We'll browbeat him down. I know Bob doesn't like to spend a nickel or a dime, let alone dollars on anything. So
But he does believe in quality. And
Yep.
when he's committed to something, he's, no expense spared.
Yep.
It's a mix.
yes.
Okay, so
Okay.
hopefully, so our next meeting will be on the 7th. So hopefully,
Oh. That's the date of the next capital plan meeting as well.
and what time is that?
Okay, they start at 5:32. We're trying to see what to do. So you guys are planning to meet on the 7th, and we're gonna have a collision
hmm
with them. So I guess I'm not sure what you guys want to do. If you want to try to,
You want to skip a meeting? Skip that meeting, Stephen, because there's nothing pressing right now. And then we show up on the 7th at the Capitol Planning to try to explain what we want to do.
I think that sounds good.
Okay. I'm going to put it on my
schedule, and I'll schedule, it'll be a capital planning meeting on the 7th.
Yep.
Okay, and
then
building committee will be there.
yeah, and then you will have some building committee people there. Just to,
And I'm gonna post it as building committee too, just in case there's further discussion.
and they cancel something happened, like the finance committee canceled. So yeah, okay, that works for me.
Okay.
And does that start at 5:30 or was it a different start time?
It's 5:30.
Okay.
Is that time good for you?
Yeah,
And-
that's on the 7th? Like
Yes.
yeah. Yep.
Excellent.
Gotcha in here.
Beautiful.
Great.
And we'll bring that up to the 10, Jeff Quackenbush, when he gets back. If he comes back 10, I'm sure he will.
Yeah, it's funny how some people, yeah. You
Yeah.
can tell that they're having a nice vacation month.
So I'll motion that we end the meeting.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay.
All in favor, Cook,
Aye.
again,
Aye.
Elmas, aye. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Good night.
Yep.
Good
Yeah.
night.
Right.